Good evening and welcome to Mystery Card Class. I hope you've had a chance to gather your supplies so that you can make a card right along with me as we go through the clues. I'm Nancy Dodge from YB Stamp and thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to quickly go through the list of supplies. So I have 1/2 inch strips of DSP. I'm sorry I forgot to write the length, but between 3 and 4 inches, and you should have 11 of them, I think. And then 8.5 by 5.5 of coordinating cardstock scored at 4 1/4. And then I have a 2-inch by 5.5 inch piece of white cardstock, a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of white cardstock, scrap white, and I'm missing a piece already. Figures, right? I'll find it. And then a die cut or fussy cut image. I'm going to use this square image, but anything this size or smaller will work great. All right, so let's get started, shall we? We're going to start with clue number 1. Lightly mark every 1/2 inch on each of the long sides of the 2-inch by 5.5 inch of white cardstock with a pencil. So I'm going to show you how I did it, and then you can do it however you want. But I'm going to use my trimmer and open it up, but that's just because I have the ruler right here. And then I have my little pencil. You're not going to see the pencil marks, so it's okay. So I'm pushing it right to the edge so that it's on my 6 mark. And I'm just going to mark every 1/2 inch on this side lightly. Can you see the very lightly? But you'll see it as you're creating. 4.5, 4, 3.5, 3, 2.5, 2, 1.5, and 1. And then flip it around and do the exact same thing. 5.5, 5, 4.5, 4, 2 or 3.5, 3, 2.5, 2, 1.5, and 1. So there we go. I'm going to put this aside. So that is our clue number 1, those pencil markings. All right, clue number 2. Add multi-purpose glue to the back of a 1/2 inch strip of DSP. One at a time, we're going to adhere to the 2-inch by 5.5 inch white cardstock from 1/2 inch down on the left to the top right. Now I'm going to show you what to do because I'm sure you're confused. All right, so here's our strip. Here's our strip. And I'm going to add my multi-purpose glue. It is this multi-purpose glue. I just put it in a different container. And I'm just going to squiggle some on the back. And I'm going to put it from the top right to a 1/2 inch down. So top right to a 1/2 inch down. So I'm going to put this like this and find my 1/2 inch and adhere it. Now I'm doing this on my silicone mat because it makes a great big mess. So there's the back. Okay, so that is clue number 2. Clue number 3 is right along with it. We're going to add multi-purpose glue to another 1/2 inch strip of DSP and adhere from the top left to a 1/2 inch down. So I'm going to add glue. Like I said, this, if you guys don't have the silicone mat, it's well worth it. So I'm going to go from the top left to a 1/2 inch down, like so. So you'll have a bit of a triangle there. I'll hold it up so you can see that. It's kind of hard with the light blue, isn't it? Excuse me, boho blue. All right. Am I going too fast? I could be going too fast. So if I am going too fast, you have to let me know. All right, clue number 4. Repeat what I just did. There will be an angled 1/2 inch white section between each strip, that little triangle I showed you. And then once we're done, we're going to set it aside to dry. So again, I'm going to take another 1/2 inch strip, put glue on it. And the reason that I use glue is because it's movable. So I'm going to go from this top marking to that 1/2 inch marking. So you see what we're doing? Crisscrossing. All right. Then I'm going to take another one. Again. And you don't want too much glue because then it'll kind of gooze all over the place. We're going to go from this marking here to this marking here, 1/2 inch down. So they're all 1/2 inch pieces at 1/2 inch intervals. Okay? And we'll keep going. Like I said, if I'm going too fast, let me know. I guess because I've done this a number of times to practice, I'm a little faster. But see, all that glue that I kind of have on the edges here, it kind of sticks to the mat, but it'll come off the mat and it won't stick. That's why this is great. Great piece, great tool to have. I highly recommend it. All right, next 1/2 inch strip. Same thing. From here to my pencil mark. All right. Next. From the right side to the left pencil mark. My hands are starting to get a little sticky. Hey Carolyn, not going too fast for you. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Alright, glue. Go from the top left to the 1/2 inch mark. So this, once you made one of these cards, it doesn't take long to make more. Alright, we're getting to the end. Right to the pencil mark. My fingers are sticking together. Now, if this little section here bothers you, peel this off. This little piece right here will fit there. So I'm going to take my snips. I want the rest of this to dry, but just for this one piece, flip it over and cut that top piece off. And it will fit down here. Pretty tricky, huh? All right. So I want you to take this piece and stick it aside because it needs to dry. Hi Joan, thank you for joining us. We just stuck all our 1/2 inch pieces on our 2 inch by 5.5 inch piece of cardstock. And now I'm going to sit it aside to dry because all these pieces are tacky and I want it to dry a little bit before I start cutting it up. So we're going to move on to, whoops, got to cap my little glue bottle. I don't want it to clog. All right, clue number 5. Stamp sentiment on scrap for banner and then punch or die cut if desired. Okay. Now somehow, I think that's what my little white piece is for. I thought I had a blue piece, but I could be confusing cards. And let's see. Of course I didn't pull out the stamp set from this, but I will as things crash around me. Let's see. I think I will do, I don't want to do Happy Father's Day. Maybe I'll just do a little happy birthday strip on this. But you'll use whatever you have. I told you to get a scrap paper and some coordinating ink. And I pulled out boho blue. Just ink it up. Hopefully you got it straight. Not really. We'll flip it over and try the other side. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Whoops. A little better. All right. I'm just going to snip this. You can do whatever you want, whether it's a die cut or a punch or just snipping like I am. All right. So that's clue number 5. That was quite easy, I think. All right. Number 6. Stamp sentiment on the 4 by 5 1/4 white cardstock for the inside if desired. All right. So I'll pull out my white piece. And I think I will. Just because. Just because. Forgot to clean my stamp. Alright, this is my Stampin' Scrub and my Stampin' Mist. Give it a spray. On the right, where it has the little raindrops, and the left has the little sun, so that you always know that this side is the wash and this side is the dry. Stamp this, my boho blue. And you could get as fancy as you want on the inside. Got that straight, I think. Quick wash and dry. See the soap? All right, I'm going to put this away. So I'm done with that. All right, and then adhere to the inside right. So I have my Stampin' Seal. Put this on the inside right. Center it as best I can. Sometimes it's a little hard when you're on camera. Okay, that's clue number 6. Clue number 7. Take the dried piece, or semi-dried piece, it's not quite as bad, and turn it over and cut the hanging strips along the edge of the white cardstock. So I'm going to take my snips. So I flipped this over so you can see the back. And I'm just going to go right along the edge and cut those pieces off. They might stick to your scissors. So just do a couple at a time. And I throw them right in the trash because otherwise they'll end up on the bottom of my shoe. Not cooperating. So you're keeping the size of the white cardstock. All right, so that's what it looks like. Less all these little pieces now that are all over me. It's just part of crafting though, isn't it? All right, so now we have our piece that we just cut up. Alrighty, now off for clue number 8. Adhere piece to the front left, about 1/8 of an inch from the edge. So I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. You can use whatever your adhesive of choice is. I just tend to go with the old standby. So this goes right from the top to right from the bottom and about 1/8 of an inch in. Like so. So that's clue number 8. Okay. All right. Clue number 9. Add dimensionals to your banner and your die cut or fussy cut image or whatever you punched out, and adhere to the front of the card. Center it if you want, it doesn't matter. So these are the pieces that I have. So I'm going to add dimensionals onto, so this is from the, just in case you were wondering, because I knew you were. It's from the Take to the Sky designer series paper. And this was, there's one piece that was all cut up into sections, and that's what I used. So this was one of the sections that I cut up. But that's where that came from. So I'm going to add some dimensionals here. And you can add as many or as little. I don't like adding too many, but I want it to be able to stand up to itself. And then a couple on here. But see, nobody's going to see the back where I messed up. Only you and I know I messed up. All right. Peel my backings off. This is a little flimsier than I'm used to using because the cardstock is thicker than the designer series paper, but that's okay. And then my little banner. So however you want to do it on the front, this should be right down the middle of your card if you want to center it over that. I'm just going to stick this over here. And then I'll center this. I think I'm centering it. Famous last words, right? All right, so I have my focal point and my banner. Alrighty, we're moving right along. Last clue, embellish as desired. So I pulled these out because to me they're kind of a plain looking. I thought I would add them. Oh. I think I messed that up. I did, of course. Put it in the wrong spot. Put another one up there. Alright, I'll use that for something else. I don't know. Just kind of feel free to embellish however you want. It's your card. I know, too bad I couldn't, the propeller wasn't facing forward. I would use that. Guess I'll put one. Yeah, that's good. 3, right? Good. Alright. So there's my card. Ta-da! That was pretty easy, huh? Alright, I'm going to show you other cards that I did using this same thing. And make sure I'm going to post these on Facebook, and I would love for you to post what you've made in the comments, because I love seeing them. So this was the first one that I did. I don't know if you can see it, but I put Wink of Stella on the umbrella so that it, oh, there it goes, see? So it looks like rain. And this one was, I stamped and then colored it with blends and then used the dye. And then I did this one. And this was just a piece of designer series paper that I cut out. I fussy cut. I was trying to show you a little bit of everything. Oh, did you want to see the inside of this one? Blank. Haha, nothing. And then this one was an old piece that I just felt like coloring in. So those are some samples for you, and I would love to see what you've made because it brings me joy. Absolutely brings me joy. All right, thank you for joining me. For those of you that are in my VIP group, I will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. For the Sketched Butterfly class week 2. And next Sunday, I'm doing back to basics, and I will be using Stampin' Up's templates that they have in the new annual catalog and show you different ways to use them. I'll be posting on Facebook each day this week some samples so that you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. So until then, I will see you. Let's see if I can find my final slide. Next Sunday. So happy